My body's composition is determined by my genes and my doctor. Hey, eyes up here.
Clarkson Lawson has good doctors.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, determining things like personality, girth. My genes are average. Well, slightly above average.
Clarkson Lawson has slightly above average genes.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, determining things like personality, girth. That's crazy. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry for that intro. Actually, I'm not. I have no idea what it's gonna look like because I don't know what my editor's gonna do, but it has been a busy week, all right? Cancel culture is really clawing its way back. It's trying really hard. So we're gonna go through all of the different situations that have happened this week, and we're gonna decide whether or not this person should be canceled or if everybody just needs to touch some grass. So starting out, contrary to what you guys might think, the ad that you saw in the beginning of this YouTube video was not Sydney Sweeney. I'm sorry, boys. I know those milkers were nice, but they weren't Sydney Sweeney's. But Sydney Sweeney did do an ad this week, so we're gonna watch the real ad that I imitated at the beginning of this video.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color.
I love how she says even eye color. Even eye color.
My body's composition is determined by my genes. Hey, eyes up here.
Sydney Sweeney has very genes.
I'm so obsessed with her. I'm sorry. I'm so obsessed with her. I'm not going to go on a tangent about me being obsessed with her. There's a lot of commentators who are like, oh, she's ruining her brand. It's too much sex appeal. Sex always sells. It will always sell. She's not ruining her brand at all. She's just hot. As you guys can see, that was a very sexual ad. People have their own qualms with it. I have qualms with the fact that they didn't anticipate this reaction from their customers. I don't have qualms with the ad itself. It's okay for a white person to say that they have good genes. So if you guys don't understand what's happening in the ad, Sydney Sweeney is saying she has great genes. It's for American Eagle, it's for their genes. It's double entendre, talking about genes like genetics and then also genes as in genes. It's a replica of another ad that came before it, but Sydney's white. Uh-oh. And she's also very pretty. Double whammy. The racist uglies are gonna freak out. Ah! And yes, they have.
I will be the friend that's too woke because those Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ads are weird. Like fascist weird. Like Nazi propaganda weird. Should we be surprised that a company whose name is literally American Eagle is making fascist propaganda like this?
Girl, blow your nose. Anyways, let's keep going.
Probably not, but it's still really shocking. Like a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman is talking about her good genes. Like, that is Nazi propaganda.
Oh my God, everything's Nazi besides people who actually hate Jewish people. They're not Nazis, but everything else is. Everything else we can call fascism, but God forbid, we're anti-Semitic. Don't ever compare us to the Nazis.
I also am thinking about like all of the young girls who are doing their back to school shopping right now at places like American Eagle who are seeing ads like this. Yikes.
What's wrong with a young girl seeing a blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl in an ad?
If anyone from American Eagle who was involved in the creation of Sydney Sweeney's most recent advertisement booked into my Pilates class, I would give them the hardest exercise class that I was capable of doing on the lightest possible spring load with 0 breath cues. And I would make it the toughest exercise class that they'd ever experienced in their lives.
You know, I think you're targeting the wrong audience with tough exercise classes. I don't think that the people who are okay with this ad care about working hard in an exercise class. I think you might want to switch demographics if you want your clients and your Pilates classes to fill up. But here's the thing with this controversy. I can understand why some people will see a white girl saying I have good genes and see this double entendre as like kind of iffy, right? I can see that because in my view, if this was a black woman and she was wearing a pair of black jeans and she said, my jeans are black, and then it's like this girl has good genes or whatever. I wouldn't really care, but I could see why a lot of people would think that that was woke propaganda. So then when you do it with a white person, you add in the racial division in America and the fact that most people are functionally illiterate and they can't really understand anything, so they just get triggered at everything. I can understand why people are having this reaction, and I feel like American Eagle should have been able to predict it, especially with their clientele. And I think that they kind of did because it's working for them. Their stock is up, they have all the media attention. But the thing is that there are two demographics of people that are complaining about this ad, or two reasons as to why a lot of people are complaining about this ad that actually have nothing to do with it insinuating any form of eugenics or Nazism, but it actually just has everything to do with the fact that they are, one, jealous of beautiful women, and two, racist towards white people. They don't like to see white people, and then when they do, now that they're seeing white people on ads again, they're freaking out. They're freaking out because they hate white people. And there's proof of this. Look at all of these pictures. You can keep your genes. Bish, you look like Whoa Vicky. Well, she kind of does, but like a prettier version. Genes are passed down, and then they make fun of this like genetic mutation that has 991,000 likes. Blatant racism. Then you've got this one here. How are white genes superior when they age like curdled milk? 11,000 likes. I'm guessing he's going to a Beyonce concert. That outfit's something. A lot of people are using this as a reason to be racist, and then they're hiding behind the fact that it's eugenics or it's Nazi propaganda just because they're actual prejudiced racist people. And then there's also just the women who are jealous of Sydney Sweeney because anything Sydney Sweeney does, a bunch of women always freak out about it. They're always uglier than Sydney Sweeney. Never seen a prettier person than Sydney Sweeney complain about Sydney Sweeney. Now, I can prove this theory. I think it's more about the fact that women are jealous of Sydney and less about the fact that people are racist towards white people, but that is a factor. And I can prove this because Dunkin Donuts is also coming under fire, but not as much as American Eagle. They released an ad after the Sydney Sweeney ad that is way more blatant and right in your face. It's clear rage bait. Let's watch.
Look, I didn't ask to be the king of summer. It just kind of happened. This tan? Genetics. I just got my color analysis back. Guess what? Golden summer, literally. I can't help it. Every time I drink a Dunkin' Golden Hour refresher, it's like the sun just finds me. So if sipping these refreshers makes me the king of summer, guilty as charged. The Golden Hour refresher.
That's a lot more in your face when it comes to talking about genetics. What's so interesting about this is that, yes, people are online and complaining about it, but this is getting nowhere near the outrage that Sydney Sweeney was getting. And that's because when you get enraged by whether it's intentional rage bait or anything else, there's always something inside of you that lights. There's a fire that lights that makes you enraged. In the Sydney Sweeney instance, that fire is jealousy, and it's from other women. And that's why she is always under fire for everything. Do I think these ads are a little weird? I do. Now, apparently this guy's like playing a character or a character that he plays. I haven't fully looked into the Dunkin ad. I don't think the Sydney Sweeney ad is weird. I think the Dunkin one is a little bit more weird. I do think that all of this could have been prevented, but the truth is that corporate America has caught on to rage bait. They're not following what's politically correct anymore because that's not what gets sales. Rage bait does. They've learned from the influencers, okay? Corporate America is going to start pulling a Lily Tino. But we're going to move on to the next story about Joey Swoll because he's also under fire this week. People just really want to be pissed off this week. I don't know what's in the air. I know Mercury's in retrograde. Maybe that's why. Is Mercury in retrograde? Or is that the excuse that I always make? 'Cause I want to blame you, but I can only blame myself.
Stop singing!
If you don't know Joey Swoll, he's the guy who does all of the videos stitching gym etiquette and yelling at people telling them to be better.
I was at Dre house on Rappers Island. They said Zach wasn't high feet and rappers lying.
Of all the videos I do, the ones that piss me off the most are seeing people disrespect the custodians and janitors in the gym. I hope this gym sees this and makes you apologize to that man. Or better yet, they make you clean for a week. Let's see how you like it. Maybe then you'll have some respect. You need to do better.
You need to do better. That's his tagline. That is Joey Swoll. He says things that 98% of the population agree with, and he posts it, and everybody goes, yay, big buff guy on my side. I can now go to the gym and feel good about myself. And honestly, I love that for him. I love that. Somebody has to make that type of content. It won't be me. I'm just not that type of person. I usually say things that nobody agrees with just because, I don't know, I just throw my shit out there. It won't be me, but much respect to you, Joey Swoll. Now, there is a drawback, though, on building a brand that appeals to a very wide audience, and that is that you have to appease kind of everybody, and you do have to walk on eggshells. So, as we know, Hulk Hogan died in this last week, and Joey Swoll apparently really looked up to Hulk Hogan as a young kid, and he posted a video of him dressed up as Hulk Hogan. Now, when he posted this video, it drew a lot of backlash because, unbeknownst to me, or I guess Joey Swoll, Hulk Hogan was like a literal racist. A literal racist. And I'm not saying that because I know the term racist has been devalued in the eyes of woke people. They call everything racist. And you'll see that because they will do that again. He was a literal racist. People got mad. They're like, oh my gosh, how could you support Hulk Hogan? You support him because he's a racist, blah, blah, blah. And then Joey Swoll, let's just go ahead and watch his response because he was on TikTok Live when this was being addressed.
Listen, I can post Hulk Hogan if I want to. Just because somebody makes a mistake in their life doesn't mean that they haven't done good things. I don't know what he did, and he said something 20 years ago and apologized for it. If you're going to attack me, you better go after the colored athletes and the people that are black and minority that went and posted him as well. Okay, the man was nice to me. He made a mistake. I'm not God. People make mistakes in life. If you got a problem with that, look at yourself. There's not one single person in here that hasn't made a mistake in their life.
They're not going to like that. Colored?
You'd see me supporting racism. I've literally done videos against racism. I bought a black girl a gym membership that was being discriminated against at the gym. People are attacking. This is the internet, guys. People only love you until they can find something to try and tear you down about. And that's okay. Who is posting about the fact that I said, God, I didn't mean anything bad by saying colored. I didn't mean anything bad by that. So if that was wrong, I apologize. Somebody already educated me on that. But if that's what you want to be upset with me about.
I've been there. I get how the cancel culture crowd is. They hear something and they all swarm and then they just start like going crazy in your lives. I've been there. But the thing about it is, like, colored is crazy. He's a gym bro. Like, he clearly was trying to be politically correct and say people of color and then said colored. And to be honest, you guys, everything is about intent, all right? If somebody is intentionally saying something to hurt someone, that's when it becomes a bad thing. I don't see that intent, and he does bring up a good point. He has routinely stood up for people of color in a lot of his videos. So I think that to call him a racist is just a stretch. It's a stretch, and it means you're looking to be offended. And I think the way Joey handled this in the live stream is exactly how you handle it. You know who you are. You know you didn't do anything wrong. If you did do something wrong, you correct yourself, you fix it, you say, my bad, I misspoke, and then you move on. But unfortunately for Joey, I don't think he realized how nasty this crowd can be when you do something wrong. And I don't think he was expecting it because he has built a brand that is essentially on holding other people accountable, and his mob goes after these other videos that he stitches. He built a very safe brand. So having this demeanor on live, like, I know who I am, I don't give a fuck, I don't mean harm, but if you're gonna put words in my mouth or make me look some type of way, that's on you. That's not his brand. That's my brand. I get on live and I say, fuck all y'all. If you're gonna misconstrue my words, that's on you, bitch. I don't care. For him, that's not him. So everybody freaked out. People started making videos about him. And then he does the one thing that you should never do. He issues an apology video.
I owe my followers, my community, and all of social media an apology. A few days ago, I reposted an old video of me in the gym wearing a Hulk Hogan Halloween costume. Also during last night's live stream, I used the word colored instead of saying person of color, which is a very outdated, very offensive term.
So here's the thing, and I posted about this on my TikTok. I'm not against apology videos or issuing clarifications on things that you've said, but there's something about apology videos that come off as very desperate. It makes it seem like you are waiting to forgive yourself until the public forgives you, and I can't respect that. It makes you look weak. It makes you look like your sense of self and your moral compass, what's right from wrong, or what you believe is right from wrong, is all determined by the public and not by you. Because what it tells me is that you require so much internal validation that you aren't even willing to forgive yourself until the public forgives you. And that is weak. It makes you look weak. It's a little bit pathetic, and I can't respect it as a creator or just as a person in general. Requiring that much validation as a creator is very debilitating, because when you're in the public eye, no matter what happens, there will always be criticism. And eventually that criticism will turn into a witch hunt. No matter what you do, we've seen this with celebrities. People love watching people in the public eye fall from grace. It's a sick form of entertainment. It's like watching the witch burn. People love to do it. So if you're in the public eye, that's eventually going to happen to you. And if you require, or if the validation from the public or validation from public opinion dictates what you believe in, how you feel about yourself, and is really a huge part of your identity, then eventually, when the switch flips onto you, you're gonna lose your shit. And that's kind of what Joey Swoll is doing now, because he handled the live in the way that he should have. In a very strong way, he said, I made a mistake on this, I corrected myself, XYZ, let's move on. That was a strong way to handle it, because that showed he knew right from wrong in the moment. But then, when he saw the backlash, he took it upon himself to make an apology video that seemed disingenuous and desperate. And this, not only did they not forgive him, because they never forgive you, they never will. The people who are going to forgive you already have, Joey, when you say you made a mistake. The left didn't forgive him, but now the right is calling him a weak man for issuing an apology and catering to the woke crowd. But again, as always, me in the middle, I say issue corrections, issue apologies if you have to, but you don't need to wait for the public to forgive you to forgive yourself. That's why if I've ever misspoke, if I'm ever wrong about something, I make a video and I go, yeah, I was wrong about this. I misspoke. My bad. And if people still freak out about it, that's fine. People think I'm a terrible person. I really don't give two shits, and you can't if you want to be like mentally healthy. So in the case of Joey Swoll, he really stepped in it when he apologized. I think he should have just owned it. But there is something to be said when we talk about all of these stories that I don't know if cancel culture is on its dying leg. I don't think it ever will be, because frankly, cancel culture has been around forever. Like I said, people love to watch the witch burn. They do. It's just now it's happening to influencers, because we're in a digital age where fame can be attained by the average person. And when it is attained by the average person, they're not PR trained. They're not mentally equipped for it. They haven't scrubbed everything like most politicians in older eras or celebrities have. So it's a little bit messy. It's not that people have changed, it's that the access to fame has. So I don't think that cancel culture is going to go anywhere, but what I do think is that the culture that is hyper offended over things that are not necessarily true may go away, with people becoming more desensitized to more and more influencers getting canceled by the day, because eventually everybody's going to be canceled and everybody's going to be over it. So that's what I think is happening. It also doesn't help that literacy rates are falling by the wayside, and people truly just can't understand anymore because we're just not intelligent enough to do so. That's a depressing way to leave it. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my great genes and oh, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my Patreon, and also follow me on other things. What else is there? I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. See you guys later. Bye.